So, okay, let us start today's guest lecture. The Honorable Rector of Untak Surabaya, Professor Dr. Mulyanto Nugroho, MM, CMA, CPA, who is represented by the Honorable Vice Rector of Academic Affairs of Untak Surabaya, Bapak Harjo Saputro, STMT, the Honorable Vice Rector 2 of Untak Surabaya, Bapak Dr. Abdul Halik MM, the Honorable, the Head of Research and Community Service Center of Untak Surabaya, Bapak Aris Henry Andiawan, SDMT, along with all of the staff. The Honorable, our speakers of today's guest lecture, Professor Chit Sam Lim from NKUST Taiwan, and Ibu Nursyanti Sumarah MIKOM from Untak Surabaya, distinguished all the deans and head of departments, all of the lecturers of Untak Surabaya, and beloved students from Untak Surabaya and NKUST. A very good morning to you all. May peace be upon us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. Distinguished guests, welcome to the online guest lecture about reduce, reuse, and recycle of waste that hosted by Untak Surabaya, cooperated with NKUST Taiwan. I am Lufia Friska, as the MC of today's event. On behalf of the organizing committee, we really appreciate for your presence today, and I'm very sorry about the technical problem. Today's lecture is the implementation of MOU that already signed between the two institutions. And the aims of today's event are to raise our awareness about environment and how to preserve it. This event also expected to initiate the research and also community service cooperation about environment between Untak Surabaya and NKUST Taiwan. And ladies and gentlemen, just to remind you, please also send us your opinion paper about environment to the email address provided. The Honorable distinguished ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us start this event by singing the national anthem of Republic Indonesia, continued with the playing of Untak Surabaya hymn, and after that, it will be continued with the playing of the national anthem of Taiwan and also the hymn from NKUST. Dear ladies and gentlemen, please turn your video on while we are listening to the national anthem. Thank you.
나루안 또 힌나호
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Since this event is hosted by Untak Surabaya, we would like to request the Head of Research and Community Service Center of Untak Surabaya, the Honorable Bapak Aris Heri Andriawan, STMT, to deliver his opening remarks. Please welcome Bapak Aris Heri Andriawan, STMT.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Prof. Mulyanto Nugroho, MM, CPA, CMA, as Director of Universitas 17 Agustus 1945 Surabaya, who is unable to attend today and replaced by Bapak Arjo Saputro, STMT, as the Vice Rector 1, and also Bapak Dr. Abdul Halik MM as the Vice Rector 2, the Honorable Deans and Head of Department of all faculties in Untak Surabaya, and my beloved students. The distinguished speakers, Professor Chisatlin from the Department of Marine Environment Engineering of National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology, Taiwan, and Dr. Anda Nursanti Sumarah, MECOM, as a part of the Center for Population and Environmental Studies of LPPM, Universitas 17 Agustus 1945 Surabaya, and distinguished guests of today's event in guest lecture about green environment to reuse, recycle, and reduce from waste. Praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who gave favor to us to attend this event in this beautiful morning. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the global warming is a real threat that we must face, and it's getting worse each day. We can feel the effect of global warming here in our beloved city, Surabaya. Surabaya is experiencing the urban heat island phenomenon, which makes the city warmer than the region near to it. This condition should come to consideration for us, and Untak Surabaya as one of the universities that awarded as Eco Campus in 2016, continue to implement the policies that support the environmental conservation, especially in our campus and surrounding. One of the policies made by Untak Surabaya is by recycling wood to water, and recently Untak Surabaya has collaborated with the government of East Java Province, PDAM Surabaya, and related stakeholders to discuss about sustainability recovery, especially in Mount Bromo Caldera. This discussion in the real proof that Untak Surabaya concerned about the environment. Besides that, our campus also establishing a study center which focus on environment studies. Last but not least, the lecture from Professor Chitsan Ling about reduce, reuse, and recycle as the implementation of the cooperation between Untak Surabaya and Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology, also part of our effort to raise awareness about the environment and the importance of reduce, reuse, and recycle waste. Dear ladies and gentlemen, with the cooperation between Untak Surabaya and National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology, we hope that the research in environment studies can be increased so that the output of research can also be implemented in our society. I really hope that the cooperation between the two institutions can last for a long time, increase not only for research, but also for community service. Dear attendants of today's lecture, that all that I can say as the opening of today's guest lecture. I am sure that there are many valuable lessons from the speaker today. We live on this earth, and it is our responsibility to take care of it. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Aris. The next opening speech is from the Honorable Vice Rector of Academic Affairs of Untak Surabaya as the representative of Professor Dr. Mulyanto Nugroho, MMCMA CPA, to Bapak Harjo Suputro, STMT. The time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Good morning to everyone at Untak Surabaya and to our partner from National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology and KUST Taiwan. I would like to express my warmest greeting to the honorable speaker to this event, Professor Dr. Chitsan Ling and Dr. Anda Nursanti Sumarah, MECOM. My warmest greeting to the Honorable Head of Research and Community Service Institute, Head of Cooperation Office, Dean from all faculties, Head of Department, also to all lecturer and student from Untak Surabaya and and key UST Taiwan. First of all, let us pray and praise the God because of His blessing and mercy. We can come together today without any obstacle and in healthy condition. With the amazing development of Taiwan in these past few years, it is a great honor for us to able to partner with one of the best university from Taiwan. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this guest lecture with the topic of green environment related to reuse, recycle, and reduce from waste. Today's event is the MOU implementation between UNTAC Surabaya and NKUST Taiwan. This is also our first step to start a research collaboration in this emerging and important topic. Besides guest lecture, there is also call for opinion to invite innovative ideas regarding green environment from students of both university. Hopefully, this will not only disseminate publication of our students, but also improve citation of UNTAC Surabaya lecture. In the past few years, UNTAC Surabaya and key UST actively collaborated in managing the International Conference on Environmental Quality, AQCTR, together with universities from Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam. This conference concerned to control and conservation. In fact, AQCTR conference on 2020 was supposed to be held UNTAC Surabaya, but cancelled due to the pandemic. Therefore, I am delighted to acknowledge that there are 2 lecturers and 5 students from UNTAC Surabaya who participate in AQCTR conference this year. We are surely hoping that model cadets from UNTAC Surabaya will join this conference, and probably the next AQCTR conference can be held at UNTAC Surabaya. To Professor Chit Sanlin, hopefully the global situation will get better soon, so we could visit each other in person. The door of UNTAC Surabaya is always open for our partner from NKUST. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all I can say for today. My best wishes for the partnership between UNTAC Surabaya and NKUST. Thank you very much. Good morning. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Harjo. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue to our main agenda today, please turn on your video so that I can take our picture together just for the documentation. Bapak Ibu, mohon untuk menyalakan kameranya supaya saya bisa mengambil gambar dari Bapak Ibu. Saya hitung sampai 3. Baik, 1, 2, 3. Bentar, masih ada di halaman berikutnya. Saya hitung lagi, 1, 2, 3. Please wait a little bit long because the participants number is quite big. So I have to schedule one by one. Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Bapak Ibu. So, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the main agenda of today's event, the lecture from Professor Jitsun Lin of NKUST Taiwan. He will deliver the topic of green environment related to reuse, reduce, and recycle of waste. The moderator of the lecture is Ibu Erni Puspanantasari Putri, PhD, as the head of research in the Center of Research and Community Service in Untak Surabaya. As the information for you, this discussion and also question and answer will be started after all speakers deliver the lecture and will be guided by Ibu Erni Puspanantasari Putri as the moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Jitsun Lin and also Ibu Erni Puspanantasari as the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bu Lutfi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be with us all. Salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, kind regard and good morning all. Honorable Vice Rector for Academic Affairs of Untak Surabaya, Insinyur Harjo Saputra MT, Honorable Vice Rector for Finance of Untak Surabaya, Dr. Abdul Halik MM, Honorable the Head of Research and Community Service Institution, Aris Heri Adriawan, STMT, Honorable Center Head of Research and Community Service Institution, and Honorable for our speaker today, Professor Dr. Jitsun Lin from Department of Marine Environmental Engineering, NKUST Taiwan, Honorable for Dr. Anda Nursanti Sumana, MECOM, Study Center of Population and the Environment, Untak Surabaya, and honorable also for Dr. Turenja Dolginda Cabapon, the first Vice President of Thai Society of Higher Education Institute on Environment. We, the society, consists of more than 40 universities member in Thailand and one university member outside Thailand, that is Untak Surabaya. Very welcome and thank you very much for joining this event. Honorable Head of Academic Development Agency and Cooperation Agency, Honorable Dean Head of Study Program and Lecture Untak Surabaya, they're all students and participants in this guest lecture. Today, the guest lecture is about the green environment related to reuse, recycle, and reduce from waste. Ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker today is Professor Dr. Jitsun Lin. Before the presentation starts, let me read the curriculum vitae. Professor Dr. Jitsun Lin. Dr. Jitsun Lin currently serves as a professor of the Department of Marine Environmental Engineering and was the Dean of the College of Ocean Engineering of NK National Museum Marine University 2009 until 2012. And then Dr. Lin graduated from the Department of Chemical Engineering, National Taipei Institute of Technology in 1983. After 2 years military service in the Chinese Navy, he pursued his Master of Environmental Engineering degree from the New Jersey Institute of Technology in 1988. After master degree, he joined USAPA Region 2 to serve a member of technical assistant team for 2 years. Finally, Dr. Lin obtained his PhD of Environmental Engineering degree from the University of Connecticut in 1995. And then Dr. Lin came back to Taiwan, become a faculty member with the Department of Marine Environmental Engineering of NKUST. During the past 25 years, Dr. Jitsun Lin has accomplished many achievements, include 20 years experience in environmental monitoring service and then professional industrial service, published over 300 scientific and technical papers, served as review panel for grant award and journal publication, received more than 50 various academic and social contribution award, received more than 80 grant construct from government, industry, and academia, participant in professional society, symposium forum, and community development, and serving as a journal associated editor. Dr. Lin's current research activity include hazardous waste site investigation, the treatment of toxic pollutants, and then the treatment of water pollutant, volatile organic compound, statistic analysis of change in ozone air quality, the coated silica gel concrete gas, and then food waste composting research, and most recently focus on the biological remediation of organic contaminated site. Finally, it is worth to mention that Dr. Chisan Lin not only contribute in the academic research and teaching focus. In his free time, Dr. Lin also served as a volunteer environmental educator to assist in the community recycling program and public education. Now allow me to welcome to the speaker, Professor Dr. Chisan Lin, to make his presentation. The time is your time right now. Please welcome for Professor Dr. Chisan Lin.
Okay. Salam. Terima kasih. Okay. So right now in Taiwan, southern Taiwan, Kaohsiung City, we are enjoying a sunny day today, and the temperature today is about like 20. It's about 30 degrees centigrade. Okay. Yeah. So it's maybe in Indonesia it's warmer, or it is a rainy day. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But I'm glad to join all of you, and thanks for Ernie for the detailed introduction. Okay. So let me begin with to share my screen so we can start today's presentation. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. So I assume that every one of you and can see my PowerPoint. Okay. Yeah, if anything goes wrong, please raise your hand or just speak out. All right. Okay. So yeah, the topic that Ernie assigned to me is green environment related to reuse, recycle, and reduce. Okay, from waste. Okay, yeah, and then let's get going. Okay, so we call that we call that this is a three R: reuse, recycle, and reduce. Okay, yeah, and the actually in English that's different. Okay, but most popular keywords people use recycle or recycling. Okay, yeah, but actually cycle, you have to to have a circulation process, keep cycling, like a bicycle, that keeps cycling. When we have this concept, so we call it recycle. Okay, and reuse, we just use it again. Okay, and reduce, to reduce the waste. Okay, and there's another acronym we call it like a 4R. 4R, we have 3R. Then to add on regeneration. Okay. And regeneration is something that is malfunction, is out of function, and then we fix it, repair it. Yeah, so the material can be active and used again. it's like a more likely like at home. We used to we have a ion exchange resin in our drinking water, in the cleaning devices at home in the kitchen. So when the ion exchange resin gets saturated, then we need to use salt, to regenerate it. Yeah, so it will be active again. So that's regeneration. Yeah, and nowadays, because of a clean energy requirement and also like energy saving, yeah. So we have a we add in like one more R, and we call that recovery. So recovery, is, for example, we can recover energy from waste. So when we have a municipal solid waste burned in incinerator, that release lots of heat, so we will recover the heat from burning of municipal solid waste, then use the heat, to produce high temperature and high pressure steam. Yeah, then we can then we can have electricity from solid waste or from biomass. Yeah, and also nowadays, people like talking about like a carbon sequestration or carbon capture utilization and storage, and then at 2050, I think all the international countries, then we globally, we agree, to have net zero in 2050. So it's a big assignment. It's a big challenge, but to do that, other than the 5 R's, that we can do, then lots of scientists and engineers, started talking about redesign. Yeah, so if we can redesign our manufacturing process to save energy, and during the redesign, then we can, if possible, we can change our raw materials, that has a lower carbon footprint, and then we design, the end product, so the life cycle of our product, can have a lower carbon footprint, and even after the disposal, then we can have we do not consume too much energy, for the after use disposal of our product. Yeah, so this idea in redesign is also very important nowadays. Yes, we should keep that in mind. Then, if we can perform, all the R's, in perfect way, then you can see that in Taiwan, we start to to practice 3 R, 4 R's, long time ago, back into 1980s, and then we can see that after 10 years, 20 years later, then we can see that in the municipal solid waste, is reduced dramatically. Okay. Yeah, so you can see that the municipal solid waste generation amount is reducing. Yeah. So right now, the average daily waste production per capita, for each person, in like 10 years ago, we were at about 0.5 kilogram per capita, and right now I think we are improving. It's reducing to about 0.4 kilogram per capita. So eventually, we are we're heading for zero waste. The ideal future. We don't know whether we can reach there. Reach real zero. But I think zero. It's a dream, and it's an idea. I think we should just set the goal, you know, and get going, you know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So and then in Taiwan, okay, the Taiwan EPA, you know, has organized like a 4-in-1 policy. Yeah. So for Taiwan EPA to practice for 3R, yeah, and for 4R, you know, we use that. So the Taiwan EPA put the 4 partners, yeah, in one picture. Yeah. So the first partner is the waste producer, that is the residents, that's the community people. Yeah. And the second important key player is the recycling company. Yeah. Because the recycling company, you know, will take the resources, the solid waste collected by the local cleaning team. They are government worker, you know, government official, you know, and when they collect the resources waste, then they will pass on to recycling company, and then recycling will purchase, you know, the resources waste, then to begin with processing process, you know, to produce recycling product. Yeah. And all this, you know, because if we want to do good things, you know, we need to have we need to have money. Yeah. Okay. So the Taiwan EPA, you know, we have designed a regulation. It's a law. Okay. And that is under Solid Waste Management Act. Yeah. And under the Solid Waste Disposal and Management Act, then we have an article, you know, to require to allow the government to collect bottle deposit on manufacturers and importers and also vendors, you know. So all these 3 parties, they need to pay bottle deposit. Yeah. So for example, if we have a PET bottle, plastic bottle, you know, for drinking water. So for each bottle, you know, when I go to 7-Eleven, I have to pay 30 NT dollars. Yeah, and among the 30 NT dollars, there is $1 that will $1 in bottle deposit that will goes to recycling fund. Yeah, so we will then have the money, you know, for the government, central government or local government or research institute, you know, to implement the recycling program. Okay, and then under the big picture, you know, regulatory enforcement is very important. So we have under the Solid Waste Disposal and Management Act, so we have a regulatory enforcement article, and that require, you know, containers, general battery, automobile, motorcycle, spend automobile or spend motorcycle, or spend car battery, spend tires, lubricants from vehicle, or household appliance, you know, refrigerator, laundry machine, furniture, or electronic IT product. Nowadays, it's information age. So these are emerging electronic waste. You know, it's getting popular, and the amount of electronic waste is increasing. Yeah, okay, and also like in every office, every house, we have a light bulb. You know, and all these things are required, are enforced by law. You know, to recycle. Yeah, okay, and the reason for for these items it's because they are also contain toxic ingredients, and if we don't do recycle on all these harmful spent products, then they will cause damage to the environment. And on the other side, many parts of these article, these materials, they contains variable precious metals. So we need to recycle them and reuse them. Okay. And as you can see from the table at the right side, we start doing recycling all these harmful articles, materials, about 25 years ago, and the recovery rate, 10 or 15 years ago, we already reached, 40 to 85%, and nowadays, I think the most updated data will be the recovery rate will be even higher. Okay, and so who is recycling? That's the local government cleaning team. The government officer is responsible for municipal solid waste, and we also have like a rag picker, and then the school kids and the community, local people, and also vendors and shopping centers, and small business recycling companies, we are all, participate in the recycling scheme. And then after recycling, examples of recycling channels, after recycling, the recycled iron or aluminum that will go to smelting plants, and the recycled plastics will go to plastic reprocessing plants, and glasses will go back to glasses manufacturing plants, and paper and cartons that will just simply goes to paper mill, and special waste like spent vehicle, motorcycle, or unused, spent home appliance, spent tire batteries, will just goes to, various type of regeneration plants. One example is like we can, all these materials with a heating value, that we can produce refuse-derived fuel. And here I give you one example of recycling process, waste plastic container recycling processes. First of all, we begin with resources waste are collected, by a government cleaning team, and then ship it to a recycling center. There we have a manually or automatically in a segregation process. Then we say, for example, like a carton, or paper, the aluminum can, that need to compaction, process. And then that was shipped to, processing plants. And then for paper, aluminum cans, or some plastic or glasses, that we also need a separation and purification process to purify them. Then in this case, we have a plastic, a pure, like one type of a plastic, say, for example, high density polyethylene, or PET, that need to be separate in the recycling process. Okay. Then this plastic particle and can goes to thermal wiring wire drawing machine. Then or we can produce a particle resin through granulation process. Then eventually we can regenerate product. Look like this one, that's like a toolbox. That is the plastic was generated from recycling plastic. And another example is home appliance. You say, for example, like the spent refrigerator, we have upload, the big boy, onto online. Yeah, then we have to remove the front door. And then don't forget that, refrigerator, or air conditioning machine that has a coolant. So we need to recover coolant. Then after that, we separate everything, and then if a plastic parts, we can proceed with the grinding to produce, small particles. Then all these particles will be recovered and send it to, say, for example, plastic reprocessing company, or send it to produce RDF, and now people call it SRF. Okay. Yeah, and in all the recycling process, because a material collection is one of very important part, and that basically relied on the solid waste producer, which is you and me, the community people. Yeah. So when we're doing that, well, the government, one of the important tool is ticketing. If the local people, we educate them, to do recycling. But if they don't do it, sometimes we have to give them penalty, to give them ticket. Okay. Yeah. But usually when you give ticket, to your local people, then they will be mad, and then the government will lose their vote. Yeah, in election. so we're doing that very carefully. Okay. Yeah. So mostly, like education is more important. Okay. Yeah. So when the government and a cleaning team, go out to the community to collect municipal solid waste. Yeah. So the cleaning team will inspect the trash bag to make sure every people are doing recycling. So the trash bag, all the recycling material are not supposed to show up in the trash bag, and all the recycling material supposed to go to the recycling truck. Yeah, and then if the local people don't do it, then we need education. We need community outreach program. Yeah. Okay. And so they can separate, the resources, solid waste to the recycling truck, and then the trash will go to the trash collection truck, then send it to a landfill or municipal solid waste incinerator. Yeah. And then in Taipei City, we have a billion of municipal waste by trash bag. Yeah. So that is another good example that, like, if you want to throw trash into a trash truck, then you need to buy a specific trash bag. Yeah. Then with this trash bag, you need to pay, say, 5 NT dollar per bag. Yeah. Then, because when you throw trash, you need to pay money. So that, if I throw out too much more trash, then I have to pay more money to purchase the bag. Yeah. And also, say, if I have a Coca-Cola PET bottle, yeah, or if I have a styrofoam foam, which is very bulky, lightweight, but very bulky styrofoam foam, then definitely, in order to save money, I'm not going to put them into this trash bag. Then, so I will naturally, or economical, with economic incentive, then I will recycle them, and I'm not going to throw them into the bag, into the trash truck. Yeah. Okay. So that is an economic incentive. Yeah. So maybe, in the future, you can think about it. Yeah, and then another example is when we are collecting food waste from kitchen leftover, then we design a food waste collection can. Then we give this can to our to the local people. Yeah, so the resident can carry this food waste recycling can and then dump it into a special barrel in the that go along with the trash truck. Okay, yeah, and then for furniture, you know, types of home appliance, we call that giant waste. And giant waste collection, then, you know, for this all this spent furniture, we collect it and then to a recycling plant. Then, you know, some people or some technicians, you know, trained technicians, they will fix it or remodel it, and then make it into, you know, like a dog house. Then we can then we can resell it. Yeah. And that's an example of bottom ash from incinerator. You know, so we can make it, you know, bricks, you know, or some souvenir or bricks that we can use in the park or used in the public construction area, which when that is allowed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then we one thing to remind is recycling market is always fragile and very sensitive to market price, because the market price, you know, goes like up and down. Yeah. So for a successful recycling program, we need government regulatory support. Yeah. And we need government to provide economic incentives. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, government need to, you know, to set up a rule, you know, to purchase, to use the recycling product, the remanufacturing product. Yeah. Yeah. And also like in the marketing strategy, yeah, that is needed, you know. So we need like a very good manager, you know, a very good leader, you know, to in charge the marketing strategy for this recycling product. Okay, so to make a quick summary here, you know, for the future perspectives, you know, I think in the future we are moving in from 3R to 4R to 6R, and also for the company, you know, we require corporate social responsibility, and then we need that environmental and society governance, ESG, and then, you know, we, you know, promote, you know, the strategy is, you know, to encourage waste to produce energy, and also has been developing lots of technology, you know, to turn waste into fuels, and then or to have a so-called biorefinery. Yeah, so we can have the biomass to produce biofuel, and also like a carbon footprint, energy saving, or CCUS. All these are very important. So life cycle analysis of and material flow analysis, or sustainable material management, you know, are all very, very important in this aspect. Yeah. Okay. So eventually, you know, we are looking for zero waste. You know, so we shall all agree that zero waste is not impossible. So if we keep dreaming it, you know, we will have it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is the first part, and then since the time is running out, okay, so I will quickly, you know, goes to second part of the PowerPoint that I have prepared. Okay. Yeah, that is food waste recycling and composting in Taiwan. So some of the lessons learned, some of achievement and applications. Yeah, and pretty much, because of a time limitation, so I would just go through pictures or figures, to quickly show you what has been done in Taiwan. Okay, yeah. So the main idea, food waste traditionally, goes to landfill. But you go to landfill, you produce leachate problem. You have a odorous smell. It has a public hygiene, public health issues. Yeah, so that is that food waste, should not go to landfill. Yeah. Then after but food waste also should not go to incinerator, because at incinerator, food waste contain high percentage of water. If you burn it in incinerator, that means you require additional energy, to burn almost like 80% of water in the food waste. So this is really not a good idea, Yeah, so we have to recycle it. Okay, so we have to recycle it. Yeah, and then okay, let me see that. Okay, yeah, and then what can we do? With the food waste, so the food waste can go to pig farm, to have a pig feeding, or food waste can go to produce animal feed and to produce methane gas through anaerobic digestion. And what am I doing in the past 17 years? I'm researching to use food waste to produce compost, and also to produce compost tea. Okay, so all these are good practice, of food waste. Yeah, okay, and this is the example of pig feeding. Okay, but food waste goes to pig feeding has some concerns, when we have a virus or when we have a pandemic problems, so food waste goes pig feeding, that will cause some concern. Okay, yeah, and then to make sure that it is safe in pig feeding, so food waste, through grinding machines, so we shall use a steam cooking, to make sure that the food waste, it's heat up to more than 90 degrees centigrade for at least 1 hour, to kill all the pathogens or virus, and then, after cooling, then can feed to the pig. And this is the process of animal feed manufacturing process. I just skip it. And this is pictures of anaerobic digestion. Use this anaerobic digestion reactor, to produce methane gas. Yeah. And this is commercial composting facility. Okay. Yeah. So right now, okay, it's about 85% goes to pig feeding. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it's about 15% will goes to composting process. Yeah, and then let me quickly show you some of the pictures. Okay, this is a household food waste recycling, and we call that bucket composting. Okay, for every home, we provide the resident. Every home need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these materials, so we can do food waste collection and composting at home. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so in the bucket, we install non-woven bag, and then we lay out 3 to 5 centimeter of soil layer. Then we chop the food waste, the kitchen leftover into smaller particles. Yeah, then we spread the food waste, onto the soil layer. Yeah, and then we add more food waste. Yeah, so we add more food waste, and then we add, another layer of compost, to serve as a gene, a bacteria germination bacteria. And then we add some sugar or bagasse, to serve as nutrients to the bacteria. Okay, and then we repeating, this process, one layer, another layer, and layer by layer. Okay, then when it is like 80% filled up, then we tidy it up. Yeah, and sit it there, for about 3 to 6 months, and then it will get mature. Okay, yeah. But every once in a while, we will have leachate at the bottom layer, so we need to collect the leachate, yeah, to reuse it. Yeah, and then 3-6 months later, we will have a mature compost for gardening. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that is a leachate, photos of leachate, and you can see that leachate. If you see the leachate is still colorful, so that is relatively non-mature leachate. But if the leachate is dark color, so that means it is matured leachate, which is better. Yeah. Okay. And the leachate is very rich in nutrition, so you need dilution before you use it. Otherwise, you will kill your garden, your flowers. Okay. Yeah, and the leachate, it's low in a little bit low in pH, and it also rich in bacteria. Okay, so we can use the leachate to clean up toilet or to open drainage plugging issues. Okay, that is a biological approach. Yeah, and also like in the big apartment, in the septic tank, sometimes they will be clogging. Okay, so we can put the leachate or apply compost tea, to septic tank, so that will help, to soften, all this hardening material. Okay, and other than bucket, we have like a family size garbage processor, or garbage big size, community size garbage processor. Yeah, and also one thing very interesting, I think before I finish it, I just want to show you, if you have kids at home, small kids at home in kindergarten or elementary school or junior high school, yeah, you can do earthworm composting experiment with your kids. That's earthworm, local species. Yeah. Okay, and then the earthworm, then we have to, remember the earthworm, they are vegetarian. They don't eat meat. Yeah, they don't like oil, or animal oil that will kill them. Okay, they're vegetarian. Okay, so you chop lots of fruit left over, or vegetable left over, and you chop it the particle as small as possible. Yeah, then you have to cap it. Yeah, okay, because if the bucket exposed to sunlight, exposed to light, then the earthworm will not show up. They don't eat. Okay, so but if you keep it dark, then they will come to eat the vegetable. Yeah, so you can see that, that's earthworm. Yeah. Okay, and here, yeah, you can, when we turn it off, pour it out, you can also see earthworm here and there. Yeah, so that is a very interesting scientific research project for elementary school kids or junior high school kids. Okay, yeah. Yeah, all right. And then at home, if you have a gardening, you can bury your kitchen leftover into the soil. Yeah, okay, but not too much at a time. Okay, and then in elementary school, you can do this. We call that a bucket composting. Every day you put the grass and the organic waste on the top, and you collect the bottom, mature compost from the bottom. Okay, yeah, okay, and that's the government collection truck. Yeah, and one bucket here, to collect picking food waste, and the blue one is to collect compost food waste. Yeah. Okay, and then quickly let you know that this is for every county, every government cleaning solid waste cleaning team. Yeah, they organize, food waste compost facility, for community outreach or for educational purpose. Okay. Yeah, but this one, you see water here, this is too much water. This is no good. It will be smelly. Okay. And this one, you can see the smoking, the moisture smoking that is in thermophilic composting stage. So that is a relatively success. Okay. And after that, you have mature compost. Then you can pack it into a package to sell it. Or to give it to volunteers. Yeah. Okay. And all right, finally, that is the very smelly, that is a lesson learned. You should not let that happen. Okay. If you really like this way, it's too much water. Okay. And then you expose to ambient air, that will cause lots of problem. And you look at this picture, that is also too much water. It's slurry. Yeah, there's too much water. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and this picture also too much water. Yeah, you can look at, all the ground are wet. Okay, so this is supposed to be dry here, on the floor. Okay. Yeah, so this is also too much water. Yeah, this is the same thing, too much water. Okay, when we have too much water, it will be anaerobic. It will turn into anaerobic composting, and then there will be very acidic smelling, and also have a odorous smell. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And all this, this is also, you can see the water running all everywhere. So that's too much water. So all these are bad examples. Okay. Yeah. And for that bad example, I send my student, to Penghu Island, to help them to fix the problem. So after we fix the moisture problem, you see the ground are very dry, and you can see the compost. It's smoking. Yeah, it turn into thermophilic composting stage. Okay. Yeah. All right, and that is that is a compost facility on campus. Okay. Yeah, and you can see that on top, this is the compost, yeah, the thermophilic stage. Yeah, and the floor is dry, so that's good. And we have automatic aeration composter, so that we can do automatic aeration. And this is a demonstration of a compost tea manufacturing process. Yeah. Okay. And this is the process. I think I'm going to skip it. Okay. And this is the compost tea product that we produced, which is a very good, and we have a patent on this compost tea manufacturing process, and that will become very good, liquid fertilizer. And liquid fertilizer are more expensive, more added value than the compost. Okay. And liquid fertilizer, say if we apply compost tea, we don't need a pesticide. or herbicide or pesticide, to kill the insect, and this example is without compost tea. We will have a, before you recover the vegetable, the insect will eat it before you. Okay, all right. Okay, so I think quickly, just summarize, what we have achieved in the compost research. Okay, so the compost, the temperature, can be elevated to thermophilic stage quickly. Right now, 1 days, we can reach thermophilic stage. And the odorous concentration will have been reduced from 200 ppm to less than 2 ppm. So right now, condition is very good. And the traditional compost, it takes 3 to 6 months to be mature. Right now, we can make it mature within 1 month. Yeah, and then when you do compost, all the company, all the business guy want to sell you bacteria. So don't buy bacteria from them, because the best bacteria is the feedback material. The feedback mature compost. That is the best germination bacteria in there. Okay. All right, and also compost tea is very important to do. Okay, all right. So I think I will just stop here, and then for the others, some other SOP, how to produce compost, and result, you need to monitor moisture content, temperature, pH, or carbon nitrogen ratio. Okay, and let me quickly show you all these community outreach, educational program. So we teach the community people how to do it. Okay, and this is a commercial scale, 100 tons per tons composting facility. Okay, yeah, and that is the mechanical turnover design. And down below, you can see the pipe. That is an aeration pipe design. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, and that is, when you want to do community outreach, you spend time with elementary school kids, and then we also spend time with military officials, and in the college and university, and local volunteer, local community. That is also local community. And also we're working together with companies. Okay, Finally, this picture, okay, 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven has lots of food waste. Okay, and all these are the expired food waste from 7-Eleven. Yeah, so we unpack it. And it looks like this. That's the food waste from 7-Eleven. Yeah. Okay. Then we make it into compost tea and make it into compost, organic compost. So that can sell. And when we apply it into the field, you can see that when we apply compost, we can practice organic farming, and then you see it growing very big and also very sweet. And compared to the left side, that is a chemical farming. They use a chemical fertilizer, and then it becomes smaller. So really, with the organic farming, we can produce very good fruit, and that can also have higher added value. Okay, all right. Okay, so I will just stop here. With this higher added value fruit. Yeah. So do you have that in Indonesia? If you don't, you should come to Kaohsiung. I will buy you all. Many of this kind of that fruits. Okay, it tastes very good. Okay, yeah, I will stop here. Yeah, so I turn the time back to Ernie. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reporter Chitsan Lin, for the great presentation. This is really adding our knowledge how to do the recycle of the waste. But before we go to the, just for the information, Professor Chitlan ever been to visit UNTAC in 2016. So she really love UNTAC. So Professor Chitsan, before we go to the discussion, now we go to the second presentation for the second speaker. Thank you very much for your nice presentation, and we will wait for the discussion session. But now I would like to go to the next next speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, our second speaker now is Dr. Randa Nursanti Sumara, Master Ilmu Komunikasi, Study Center of Population and the Environment, LPPM Untak Surabaya. She is also the lecturer at the Faculty of Social and Political Science, FISIP Untak Surabaya. Before the presentation start, let me read the curriculum vitae Dr. Randa Nursanti Sumara, Master Ilmu Komunikasi. Just a minute. She's graduated bachelor degree from the Department of State Administration, Universitas Brawijaya Malang, and then master degree from the Department of Communication Studies, Universitas Dr. Sutomo Surabaya. Dr. Randa Nursanti is actively conducting research with the funding from several sources, that is independent funding source, and then the Department of Agriculture and Food Security of East Java Province, and the Secretary of the East Java Province, such as the research of preparation of standard operating procedure on assistance to the Department of Agriculture and Food Security of East Java Province, and then the research of the research effort to improve research service performance of the East Java Provincial Council Secretariat funding from the Secretary of East Java Province. And the next one, Dr. Randa Nursanti is active in community service with both independently and in collaboration with LPPM Untak Surabaya. The next one is she's actively published research result and community service in national journal and proceeding. And the next one, she is also be a speaker at a national seminar. Dr. Randa Nursanti received various awards such as Surabaya City Environmental Facilitator from Surabaya City Government, and then 2015 Environmental Hero Award recipient, and then female assistant lecturer, encouraging independent and assessment team for scientific writing competition for middle school students in Surabaya. And then also she jury for the verification of the Surabaya Smart City competition file in 2019. Is funding by receive award from Surabaya City Cleaners and Green Open Space Service, and then also inspirational lecturer of community service program given by Untak Surabaya. Now allow me to welcome to the speaker, Dr. Randa Nursanti Sumara, Master Ilmu Komunikasi, to make his presentation about the environment management by citizen involvement in Surabaya City. Time is for you right now, Dr. Randa Nursanti Sumara.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ernie. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Salam sejahtera, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, Rahayu. To save time, may I start the presentation? Okay, I'm sorry, my English is not good. and sometimes I use Indonesian. In this time, I will present focus on environment management by citizen involvement in Surabaya City. This topic that I will to talk to first, based on my experiences and my observation, and second, I try to identify model of environment management program in Surabaya. When join as an environment facilitator in Surabaya for this first time, and now call it as Kader Surabaya Hebat. Now we are going to discuss and compare 3 programs of environment management which are initiated by Surabaya City Government. There are MDS or Merdeka dari Sampah, Surabaya Green and Clean or SGC, and Surabaya Smart City or SSG. I tried to identify model of environment management program in Surabaya. Okay, I will explain the program one by one. First, belum satu. Okay. Here is environment management program which involves citizen participation in Surabaya City start from 2005. Program that have been applied, there are 4. First, Merdeka dari Sampah or MDS around 2005 until 2018. Second, Surabaya Green and Clean or RGC around 2005 until 2016. Third, Surabaya Smart City or SSG around 2017 currently. And fourth, Program Kampung Iklim or Proclim initiated by Ministry of Environment and Forestry, Republic of Indonesia. Okay, first, MDS or Merdeka dari Sampah. Merdeka dari Sampah or MDS has 9 characteristics. There are first, type of program, environment management competition. Second, priority area for area which have not participated in environment program. And third, participant group of RT and in area. And fourth, program assessment criteria is greening, environment hygiene, trash management, and habit. And then graduate mover, environment facilitator. And then there is a reward that makes this program being competitive. Next, duration of program around 3 months. And 8, institutions which are involved, city government of Surabaya, media, and sponsorship. And then stages of program, launching, participant registration by facilitator and urban village official, and then preparation of participant area by inhabitant with facilitator, then adjudication, roadshow, and awarding. Meanwhile, Surabaya Green and Clean or SGC. Same MDS has 9 characteristics. First, type of program, environment management competition. And second, priority area, for area which already participated in environment program. And third, participant, group of RT and RW. Fourth, program assessment criteria, greening, environmental hygiene, trash management, habit, sanitation, innovation that have been made, and then region mover, environment facilitator. Next, there is a reward that makes this program being competitive. And next, duration of program around 3 months. And 8, institution which are involved, city government, media, and sponsorship. And then stages of program, launching, participant registration by facilitator and urban village officer, and preparation of participant area by inhabitants with facilitator, education, first education, and second education, and then roadshow and awarding. Then Surabaya Smart City or SSC, yes, has 9 characteristics too. First, type of program, environment management competition. Second, there's a new program combining MDS and SGG program. And third, participant, group of RT and RW. And fourth, program assessment criteria, greening, environmental hygiene, trash management, habit, innovation that have been made, sanitation, and food security. And next, region mover, environment facilitator. And then there is reward that makes this program being competitive. And then duration of program around 3 months. And next, institution which are involved, city government, media, and sponsorship. And last, stages of program, launching, participant registration by facilitator and urban village officer, and then preparation of participants area by inhabitants with facilitator, and then verification, and then first education, and second education, roadshow, and awarding. Nah, seperti yang saya katakan tadi, saya akan juga menggabungkan dengan bahasa Indonesia yang menjelaskan bahwa foto ini adalah merupakan penjurian tahap kedua. Setelah penjurian tahap kedua, adjudication, second adjudication. Yeah.
Yeah, just let me introduce that this is photo is for the competition, and this is step is for the second step of the competition. The next, Bu Nursanti.
Okay, thank you. Next slide. Nah, ini adalah salah satu acara sosialisasi setelah dengan komunitas menyampaikan isu-isu atau apa saja yang berkaitan dengan lingkungan yang harus kita selesaikan.
And this is the like something like socialization to the community, how to manage the green environment, something like that. Next.
Ya, slide ini adalah menjelaskan kepada kita tentang tahapan roadshow, di mana roadshow ini adalah setelah perlakuan penilaian dan penjurian wilayah, mereka melampiaskan di dalam tampilan roadshow untuk memamerkan kebisaannya.
So this is just the participant who join the competition. They want to show, they want to be number one, and they also what they can do to be the winner. So they make the interesting for the jury to give point for them to have the high point, something like that. Next.
Oke. Nah, sedangkan ini adalah tahap terakhir di dalam setiap lomba yang diadakan untuk lingkungan, penilaian lingkungan, yaitu awarding. Di mana di dalam awarding ini wilayah-wilayah yang mendapatkan kriteria kemenangan akan mendapatkan reward atau hadiah dari pemerintah kota dan beberapa sponsor yang terlibat di dalam kegiatan ini.
Yeah, so this is the last final for the competition for the make point for the jury, and this is will be the the winner will be have the reward from the Surabaya government. And then also the many sponsors join to give the reward for the this competition. Next.
Okay. From explanation of their program of 3 programs, it can be concluded important things as follows. First, implementation of program was conducted continuously, twice a year, with an alternative among those programs. It allows the internationalization of environment management can run intensively. Second, the program assessment criteria increase gradually, thereby allowing people in that area understand that the environment management gradually. And third, full involvement of environment facilitator as community mover. Therefore, it needs high committed environment facilitator to be a volunteer and participate actively in environment. Fourth, there is reward that makes this program being competitive, thereby increasing spirit of competitiveness and encourage the motivation in society. And fifth, media involvement in program, thereby encouraging spreading and reporting the program massively to society. And last, first party involvement for funding or sponsorship. Sometimes it is done by media. Next. Nah, semuanya itu bisa digambarkan di dalam sebuah model di dalam bagan ini.
So this is all the competition can be shown in this diagram or in the picture that's shown in this one.
Jadi pada intinya pengelolaan lingkungan di Kota Surabaya itu menekankan pada keterlibatan masyarakat.
So the environment management is in Surabaya is always empowerment the community, empowerment the citizen.
Yang itu bisa ditandai dengan adanya keterlibatan dari pemerintah Kota Surabaya, kemudian media, dan sponsorship, dan yang paling banyak bertindak di wilayah adalah fasilitator lingkungan.
So beside the citizen, there is another aspect or another people that is the sponsorship, and then the government, Surabaya government also, and then the influence of the media to promote how to manage the environment, and then to people, and then people interesting to join the competitive competition and get the reward.
Serta kegiatan itu dilakukan dengan kompetitif dan hadiah-hadiah yang diberikan oleh Pemkot dan beberapa sponsorship termasuk media. Kemudian dilakukan terus-menerus secara bertahap. Jadi artinya tidak terhenti di dalam satu kegiatan, tetapi berkelanjutan. Dan ini adalah berkelanjutan, jadi tidak hanya terpatahkan pada satu kegiatan saja.
This environment program is not only stop in this event, but it's continuously.
Okay. Next time. Nah, Surabaya Environment Facilitator, at first they were two environment volunteer who were appointed to represent urban village. And second, for organization, it is informal or community. And third, for individual, it is a volunteer. And fourth, at first, they followed training which was held by city government. And then they also followed training which was held by third party or sponsorship ones. And next, there are divided regionally. Center Surabaya, West Surabaya, East Surabaya, North Surabaya, South Surabaya, which each regional has their coordinator. Each district has coordinator district. And then have monthly meeting and evaluation in certain places which are initiated by DKRTH or DLH of Surabaya City or third party or sponsorship. And next, involved by city government on program related to environment. And last, currently they are legalized by city government as a Kader Surabaya Hebat or KSH, which consists of cadre and social life sector, kader lingkungan, kader jumantik, kader lansia, kader posbindu, and kader posyandu. And next. Nah, menurut yang dilakukan selama ini bahwa pengelolaan lingkungan di Surabaya itu terdiri dari 3 pilar kegiatan besar.
Trash management in Surabaya is consist of 3 parts.
Yang pertama itu adalah penghijauan yang bisa dibagi menjadi urban farming dan pemrosesannya. Kemudian yang kedua adalah pengelolaan sampah. Pengelolaan sampah itu bisa dilakukan dengan 3R minimal, yaitu reduce, reuse, and recycle. Yang pengurangan sampahnya itu bisa dilakukan dengan pemilahan sampah, kemudian membuat bank sampah untuk sampah keringnya, dan membuat kompos untuk sampah organik atau sampah basah.
So the environment management in Surabaya City consists of 3 parts. One is greening. This is consists of urban farming and processing, and then the second one is environmental health maintenance. It consists of sanitation, cleanliness, and environment. The third one, trash management, which is considered 3 R's. First one is reduce. It is consists of trash sorting, and then waste bank and composting, and then reuse, and the last one is recycle and empowering.
Oke. Next. Yang ketiga, pilar yang ketiga adalah kesehatan dan pemeliharaan lingkungan, itu meliputi sanitasi dan kebersihan lingkungan. Next. Nah, ini adalah hanya salah satu contoh yang saya tampilkan di forum ini, yaitu urban farming, di mana di dalam
This is one example for urban farming. Next.
Di dalam urban farming ini kita lakukan karena di perkotaan lahan semakin sempit untuk bercocok tanam, sehingga di kota itu tidak ada halangan untuk melakukan penanaman atau penghijauan dengan cara melakukan seperti ini adalah vertical garden. Yang ditanam ini adalah selada.
This is selada tree because in the Actually, in the city, there is limited area to the people can grow the plants, so they have the urban farming. Next.
Baik. Lanjut. Nah, contoh lainnya adalah seperti ini, di mana setiap keluarga bisa membuat taman toga yang fungsinya adalah bisa menyediakan sendiri pengobatan secara herbal pada masing-masing keluarga.
So usually the house family have the herbal. They plant the herbal tree in their home. So if they need it, just take it. If they get sick, something like that, just with the herbal medicine, they just can take it from this plant. Next.
Nah, sedangkan yang ini, gambar ini adalah merupakan sebuah kegiatan untuk mensortir sampah yang kemudian itu dilakukan oleh bank sampah. Jadi masing-masing wilayah bisa membuat bank sampah dan juga sampai pada institusi seperti di Untak Surabaya juga mempunyai bank sampah yang ini adalah kegiatan sortir, mencatat, kemudian mereka melakukan pemrosesan selanjutnya.
This activity is so what is the West Bank, so people is trust sortie and then they can get money from this trust sortie, and every region have this regulation to have how the way to manage the West Bank. Next.
Nah, sedangkan contoh recycle ini hanya beberapa juga yang sebetulnya banyak contohnya, tetapi ini adalah crochet atau crochet merajut dari bahan tas plastik yang dibuat gantungan kunci, kemudian tempat pensil, sedangkan yang di kiri atas itu adalah bros dari pemanfaatan botol plastik.
So this is the example of recycle from the plastic waste. They can make the key holder and then pencil holder and then bros, accessories. Next.
Kemudian dari beberapa kegiatan ini banyak yang kemudian mempunyai usaha kecil dan menengah, itu menambah penghasilan bagi yang memiliki UKM itu, tetapi sekaligus penekanannya adalah pemberdayaan masyarakat berbasis lingkungan.
So based on this creativity of the people, this is become the profit from their family because they can build something like industry, small manufacturing enterprises. But this business is based on the green environment. Next.
Thank you. Itu yang bisa saya sampaikan, tetapi penekanan pada kegiatan yang dilakukan oleh pemerintah Surabaya, pemerintah kota Surabaya itu lebih banyak melibatkan pada masyarakat. Dengan demikian maka kegiatan itu bisa berlanjut. Jadi tidak terbatas kepada waktu tertentu saja, itu yang bisa membuat Surabaya lebih bagus di dalam program lingkungannya dengan beberapa penghargaan yang sudah diperolehnya.
So the conclusion, the program of Surabaya Municipality always empowering people to manage the green environment. So and this program is always continue.
Baik.
Thank you. So this is the last final for the presentation of Dr. Anda Nursanti Sumara. Thank you very much for your great presentation and influence people to do the managed environment. So the next session, we will have discussion and question and answer for two speakers. First one is Professor Kisan Lin, and then the second one is Professor Nursanti Sumara. Maybe we can combine the question, and Bu Lutfi will handle this discussion and question and answer. Please, Bu Lutfi, to handle this session, next session.
Okay, Bu Erni, thank you very much. Thank you very much to Ibu Nursanti Sumara and also Professor Kitson Lin for the great presentation. I really hope that we can get any insight and any new knowledge about how to preserve the environment and how to reduce, reuse, and recycle of waste. We already have our first question. This is from Ibu Ayun Maduwinarti. Ibu silakan bertanya. Ibu dalam bahasa Inggris atau bahasa Indonesia, Ibu? Silakan. Silakan di-unmute dulu, Ibu. Ya, Ibu silakan.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Interesting topics discussed related to environment. Various efforts have been made to care for the environment, reduce, reuse, and also recycle. My question is, what about the culture? Yeah, the culture of part of our societies who don't care about the environment, dispose of pieces carelessly, have not gotten used to living clean, have not realized the importance of caring the environment. My question is, can reuse, reduce, and recycle be applied optimally? And how do we get the society care about the environment? Maybe this is especially for Prof. Jackson Lin. And also Bu Santi, apresiasi kepada Bu Santi luar biasa.
Terima kasih.
Presentasinya, yaitu tadi Bu Santi, barangkali mungkin budaya masyarakat kita, ya, budaya masyarakat kita yang sebagian masyarakat kita yang masih belum care, ya, belum peduli terhadap lingkungan. Ini yang saya tanyakan tadi Bu Santi. Tapi tadi apa yang Bu Santi sampaikan sudah berbagai upaya yang dilakukan khususnya pemerintah Kota Surabaya untuk bisa mengajak masyarakat peduli pada lingkungan. Tetapi mungkin Bu Santi bisa memberikan gimana ya supaya bisa lebih mengajak masyarakat kita gitu untuk peduli pada lingkungan. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Bu Ayun. Thank you Bu Ayun. So Professor Jason
You're
Lee.
welcome.
The question from Ibu Ayun, maybe you can answer it right now, or do you want to wait for another questioner?
Okay, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, we can
Okay.
talk now. Yeah, I think that's a very very important question. You know, how to get the society, you know, to get involved. Yeah, that's really important. But I think, you know, most of the answer, I think Noshanti already, you know, provide, you know, most of the answer, because on her PowerPoint, she has summarized all different kind of stakeholders, you know, including local citizen, including volunteers, facilitator, and we need some engineering. We need some policy maker, and also we need media. Yeah, we need the media, and we need lots of, you know, community outreach program, and then I saw that, you know, Nashanti has shared with us, you know, with SSC and SGC program. Yeah, all these programs, you know, are very good, you know. But come to the end, I think the key issue of success is the warm heart. The warm heart, you know, if we have warm heart, you know, we have some, you know, some people like you and me, you know, we are, you know, we are enjoy, you know, to share with the people, you know, to get along with people, to work in the community. Yeah, then I think we will have very successful community outreach program. Yeah, and also, you know, sometimes, you know, during the marketing or during the education program, you know, we will get some culture, or got some art and music, you know, or dancing or singing or poems. You know, I think Noshanti has shown many of them, you know, and give them award. Yeah, and then everybody, you know, cheer up together. You know. So once, you know, you and me and everyone else, you know, are doing together, and then we enjoy the green, you know, the beautiful, the clean image of Surabaya. Then, you know, all the tourists will come, and then we can have an eco-tourist, and then we can make more money from ecosystem. Yeah. So I think, you know, To make it simpler, I think all we need is a warm heart, yeah, and take action. Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe Nashanti can share with us. Okay, get back to
Okay.
the monitor.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Professor Jesselyn. So, Bu Nur Santi, do you have anything to tell to Bu Ayun? Maybe ada yang mau ditambahkan, Ibu, silakan. Ibu mohon di-unmute dulu, masih belum. Oke, silakan.
Baik.
Ibu.
Terima kasih Bu Ayun atas apresiasinya. Tentu saja yang ditanyakan itu menjadi keresahan kita bersama, bagaimanakah masyarakat kita itu agar bisa mengerti bagaimana harusnya mengelola lingkungan, bagaimana kita harus peduli lingkungan. Oleh karena itu, Pemkot Surabaya beserta mengajak dengan institusi dan masyarakat khususnya, dia mengajak atau Pemkot itu yang sebagai inisiatornya, kemudian melibatkan lebih banyak masyarakat lagi se-Surabaya untuk sadar bagaimana mengelola lingkungan itu. Nah, oleh karena itu program-program yang dilakukan tidak hanya kemudian dalam waktu dekat atau dalam waktu yang pendek untuk memberikan begitu saja apa saja yang dibutuhkan lingkungan, tidak, tetapi dengan melibatkan masyarakat secara langsung. Oleh karena itu Pemkot Surabaya beserta link lainnya, misalnya media, itu juga mengajak dalam bentuk lomba. Artinya apa? Dengan lomba itu ada keterlibatan, diantaranya adalah melibatkan masyarakat. Oleh karena itu parameternya ada berubah setiap waktunya. Jadi setiap tahun, setiap program itu selalu bertambah kriteria-kriteria pengukurannya atau parameternya. Misalnya pada tahap yang SSC itu ada selalu penghijauan, greening. Nah, tetapi tidak hanya menghijaukan untuk wilayah jalan saja, tetapi sampai dengan ke masyarakat. Yang tadi kami contohkan di dalam slide itu menyiapkan toga. Sehingga mohon maaf ketika pandemi yang lalu ada tanaman-tanaman itu yang bisa, tanaman herbal itu yang bisa misalnya digunakan untuk mencegah hal-hal tertentu. Tidak usah beli kemana-mana, karena itu juga akan mengurangi mobilitas, tetapi dia bisa mengambilnya sendiri di rumah. Kemudian kesehatan lingkungan, meliputi sanitasi juga diantaranya. Kemudian mengelola sampah. Mengelola sampah itu tidak hanya membuang begitu saja, tetapi sampah itu menjadi tanggung jawab masing-masing warga, itu disadarkan kepada mereka. Jadi tidak kemudian hanya selesai dengan membayar iuran di pemerintah atau di RT. Saya sudah bayar iuran sampah. Tidak seperti itu, tetapi disampaikan kepada mereka bahwa sampahmu adalah tanggung jawabmu. Sampai dengan anak kecil. Jadi mulai dari sekolah-sekolah dengan program Adiwiyata. Sehingga kebiasaan-kebiasaan untuk membuang sampah pada tempatnya di awalnya, kemudian bagaimana dia mengurangi sampah, jadi tidak membeli barang-barang yang nyampah. Kemudian kalaupun itu tidak bisa dihindari, bagaimana untuk merecycle-nya sehingga tidak terbuang langsung. Itu menjadi budaya. Oleh karena itu habit menjadi parameter untuk kriteria penilaian habit. Seperti itu. Kemudian sanitasi juga, sehingga mengurangi misalnya jentik-jentik dan sebagainya. Dan yang penambahan adalah innovation. Ada inovasi, mau ngapain, apa yang dapat dilakukan terhadap pengelolaan lingkungan, tidak hanya terhadap penginovasi, tidak hanya inovasi terhadap sampah kering, tetapi bagaimana misalnya membuat kompos dengan macam-macam. Nah, sekarang yang sedang marak terakhir adalah pengomposan dengan maggot. Artinya kompos itu, sampah basah itu bisa terkurangkan, tetapi tidak begitu saja terbuang dalam bentuk yang lain. Kalau yang lalu kita sudah bisa buat kompos, sekarang kita bisa buat maggot. Maggot itu semacam belatung yang ternyata maggot itu bisa menjadi makanan ternak. Nah, semuanya itu kalau dilakukan secara berkelanjutan akan menjadi budaya bagi masyarakat di Surabaya. Nah, itulah sebabnya kenapa Pemkot Surabaya membuat program itu tidak terpotong dalam waktu yang pendek, tetapi berkelanjutan, terus-menerus dijaga supaya itu memang menjadi budaya. Itu bisa dilihat dari lomba-lomba yang diadakan di dalam program lingkungan yang dimulai dari 2005 sampai dengan sekarang itu masih dilakukan terus-menerus setiap tahunnya. Demikian Bu Ayun. Oh ya, terima kasih untuk Mr. Lin atas komentarnya tadi.
Terima kasih Bu Nur Santi. Thank you Bu Nur Santi. Bu Ayun, do you have any more questions? Okay, thank you Ibu. So the next question is from Ibu Holis Hidayati. Bu Holis, silakan Ibu. Ibu mau dalam bahasa Indonesia atau dalam bahasa Inggris? Silakan Ibu. Di unmute dulu silakan.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Good afternoon, Prof. Lin. Good afternoon, Bu Nur Santi. Yeah. Actually, basically, our government, the local government, Surabaya, yeah, especially, has always been doing many things about the environment. Yeah, and the ones like Bu Nur Santi should get a high appreciate for all your effort, your time to manage the waste. Yeah. But my question is, I want to point my question to Professor Lin. Yeah, Professor Lin, the way, the policy, the work, and all the programs of the government is so impressive, and it's really inspiring us. But what and how far is the role of the education institution in supporting the government policy? How the government motivates and forces the higher education or universities to join all the government's program? That's my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Bu Holis. Professor Jetselin, maybe you can
Okay.
directly answer the question from Bu Holis.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. I think colleagues has raised one that's very important. What's the role of university? Yeah, well, the role of university, well, majorly, we're doing research support. And say, for example, at the very beginning of when we start to recycle food waste in that would trace back to the earliest time is it's in 1996. We start to warm up, and then at 2001, and then until 2006, the whole country, it's recycling food waste from every home. Yeah. Okay, so that's 100% recycle, and that we are really the number one in the world, who has a whole nation, to recycle food waste. Yeah, but it takes time because at the early stage, it has a sanitation problem, it has a hygiene issue, and it also very smelly. And no one wants to touch the smelly food waste, and sometimes you are waiting for the collection truck. You have to keep the food waste at home for 1 or 2 days, and so that always run into problem. Yeah. So what the university do is we're doing research. Yeah, particularly we participate into discussion to examine the policy, how to dynamically correct or improve the policy. Yeah, and also one of the major issues is after we collect all this food waste, but what are we going to do? Where are the market? Where are the market? So the market in the majority goes to pig feeding, but pig feeding is like a traditional market. All the grandpa, grandma, when they were young, they used the food waste to feed pig. Yeah, that's quite normal at that time. Yeah, but now the modern day, then the Ministry of Agriculture, they will say, well, if you do pig feeding, but how about the pandemic issue? If you have a H1N5, if you have COVID-19, you have so-called food diseases and all kind of diseases issues. So the government, sometimes the Ministry of Agriculture will say no, don't bring the food waste to feed pig, to feed pig. If you want to do it, the administrator of Taiwan EPA, you should take responsibility if anything goes wrong. Yeah. So that's what a government, are doing. I think it's not really responsible, and so the university has to do is we try to do, for example, in NKUST, in our compost facility, we are the first compost facility on university. Yeah. And also many of the other university, they want to try, but they try it, but then they fail because it's so smelly. Yeah. So the students and the faculty member, we are complaining. Yeah. Okay. And we also run into the same challenge, but later on, we improve. Yeah, we improve our technology, our skill. Yeah, so right now, we can control the older very well. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that is the university role. Okay. Yeah. So I think the major role in the university is R&D. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. Ibu Holis, do you have any more question or is it enough? Ibu Holis?
I think one thing, colleagues, maybe I think she has that question, and I did not really point out. That is the bad side, of the university. Actually, in Taiwan, the elementary school student, they do the best job in resources recycling. Yeah. Then comes to when they get older, to junior high school. Yeah, they still do it, but they don't they do it in the under, because their teacher force them to do it. Yeah. Then to the high school, then they can have their choice to do it or not to do it. Yeah, and then the teacher is not going to force them to do it. Yeah. Then comes to the university student, the college student, well, actually, the college student in Taiwan, we have the worst, recycling performance in the university, in the educational system. Yeah. So that's maybe something, we have to brainstorming, how to fix that problem. Yeah. Okay, maybe Noshanti can share with us, whether you run into the same problem or not.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I think there's no more question from Bu Polis and also Bu Ayun. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the guest lecture from Professor Jesselyn and also from Ibu Nursanti Sumara. But Professor Jesselyn, I am interested in one thing. What kind of fruit? What was that you showed us before? Was that a mango? The fruit that you show us in your presentation, was that a mango? Was that mango? No,
that's not mango. Yeah, that's
what
not.
was that?
Yeah, that's kind of a dash. 枣子, 枣子, plum, a kind of plum.
Oh,
Yeah.
we
Well,
don't
don't
have
worry,
that.
come to Kaohsiung, then
So
you
maybe
have to
one day,
try.
maybe one day we will come to Kaohsiung to
Yeah,
try
you have to try it.
try
I
that
don't
fruit.
know what is that food.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the session. So, I really hope that we can get more knowledge about reducing, reusing, and recycling of waste, and we can also implement the knowledge that given from Professor Jason Lin and also Ibu Nur Santi Sumara to our environment, so that the environment in where we live can be more cleaner, and we can do anything. So the main job for us is just to do the action, and we have to have a warm heart to start reducing, reusing, and recycling of waste in our environment. So on behalf of the committee, I really would like to extend my gratitude to all of you, to your presence in today's online guest lecture. Once again, thank you for joining us. Wishing everyone healthy, successful, and having fruitful sessions. Have a nice day, everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for Professor Jason Lin to give the guest lecture as the speaker. We hope that in the future we can have joint research between NKUSC and Untak Surabaya about the green environment, something like that I already request. So I hope that your university can accept our request Untak to have the joint research. You already know the Surabaya city, and you know already Untak, so we will really hope that you can accept our research collaboration in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And maybe here is Professor. Do you remember Professor Turenja is joined with us? Professor Turenja, maybe you can just speak or something like that.
Yeah. I think
I think he already. Oh, it's already left.
left. Okay.
Left. Okay.
Well, don't worry. We will see you all of you. Hopefully next year. The FEMA.
Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah,
so.
we have been talking to the Russian side, to the Southern Federal University, and Ivan Parinov. I think he agreed, to visit Surabaya, because I told him that was nice place to visit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So hopefully, next year, the COVID can be contained and everything will be fine. Yeah. Okay, so we can travel to see each other again. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu Erni, for give some additional space for the closing. So, Bapak Ibu semuanya, ini adalah akhir dari acara kita pada hari ini. Terima kasih banyak atas nama panitia. Kami berterima kasih atas kehadiran Bapak Ibu semuanya. Semoga apa yang disampaikan oleh Profesor Jason Lin dan juga Ibu Nur Santi Sumara memberikan banyak hal yang bermanfaat bagi kita semua, juga bagi lingkungan di tempat yang kita tinggali. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu, saya sebagai pembawa acara menutup acara ini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, selamat siang.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bye everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Professor.
See you.
Thank you, Bu Nur Santi.
Terima kasih Bu Nur Santi, hebat Bu Nur Santi. Terima kasih Bu Lutfia, terima kasih seluruh panitia, terima kasih Pak Ari.
Terima kasih semuanya. Terima kasih Prof. Lin.
Terima kasih Bu.
Terima kasih.
Thank you, Professor Jason Lin. Thank you very much.
Kita lihat ya.